Hi guys, I had no expectation of doing this video. My main man, see up there, Doug Buffetti, I got a little double D to the right of his name and a little double D to the left. What does that mean? That means Dynamic Doug. He somehow dug up, Doug, huh? Sounds good, a little play on words. Somehow he got his hands on some titanium 6Al4V. An amazing grade, right? The reason I know is I have some of my peers turn a lot of this stuff and machine it. They're real good at it. Titanium 6LV in, ends up on the moon, ends up in the ocean, because we got Hui here, Woods Hole Oceanographic. They make a lot of things that go down in the ocean. Titanium 6LV is, they use a lot of that. Then I hear about people who have titanium put in their bodies. Talking about titanium, without titanium, you wouldn't have jet planes. Titanium has amazing physical properties. All right? That's a little bit I know about it, all right? So, anyways, I'm going to call this the David and Goliath episode, right? And the reason I say that is, how can my 10-cent burnishing tool improve $1 million material like titanium? I'm going to start the program now. Let's start here, all right? When I say my 10-cent burnishing tool, the little levity or sarcasm there, you see? There it is. You see bottom right? $50 for the tool, FOB, Freetown, Mass. That means freight on board in Freetown, Mass. That means if you come to my door, give me $50, I'll put one in your hands. If it's gonna go anywhere else, somebody's gonna pay the freight. Guess what? It's you. But here's the good side. If you're in the lower 48 states, that includes Hawaii, right? The post office will ship this anywhere in the lower 48 states for $10 and I think it's 20 cents. So the grand total to your door, $60.20. You understand? I've sold a lot of these. I haven't had one negative statement. Everybody is down with that, all right? See this statement, ask the man who owns one? All right, let me blow this up. You see that? Packard Car Company years ago, that was their advertisement. And, they would say, ask the man who owns one. The advertising budget was nothing, and they sold a lot of vehicles. All right? Let's go back down here in case you didn't see that. $50. Anywhere in the US of A, $60.20 to your doorstep. Let me go back. All right? Anyways, I'll get down to all the other stuff in a minute. You see this here? That's my letterhead or my line card. If you guys are interested, after you see this and you want to get a hold of me, you got to take a screenshot. Let me blow this up. Hang on. All right, you see it now? You can see it, right? It's got my address. You want to write me a poison pen letter? There's the address you send it to, right? All right. If you're interested in buying one, you can phone me. See it on the left, telephone, fax, and my email is down here. You see it? Give it a screenshot if you want to get a hold of me. Let me go back now. All right. So you've seen this picture many times. All right. It's dynamic Doug. He took some titanium and he screwed around with it. Here's where he ended up. You see this? Top left. Feed rate, 2/1000ths of an inch. That feed rate is for turning, and that feed rate is also for burnishing. You understand? All right? And the reason for that is the peaks and valleys. We want shallow peaks and valleys. 2/1000ths is a fine feed rate. You're going to get shallow peaks and valleys. When you burnish, you're going to just push them peaks down into the valleys. Let me explain, right? First of all, he took it and he turned this titanium down to 0.625. Then he burnished it in 2 passes, right? He ended up with a minus 0.4. That's inches we're talking about. All right, let me see if a blow up helps this. All right. What he does is he burnishes from the tailstock towards the headstock. When he gets up there, he reverses the carriage direction and he burnishes out, both at that small feed rate. You see it? That's how he burnishes. That's considered 2 passes. One from right to left, and the second pass from left to right. Let me get it down now. I'm going to go through a lot of bullshit here for you. You see it? All right. You see that there? Now, well, let me blow this up again. I'm blowing things up and down. Hope I don't hurt my lips. Hang on. All right. You see that red ball? That signifies the burnishing ball. All right? And you see this little red box? What you're going to do is you're going to put the ball up against the turned surface. You approach it real gently. You put your finger on the ball bearing, not the carbide ball, but the ball bearing. And you dial it in till that ball bearing just starts revolving. That's considered, you touch it off. Then you're going to set your DRO at 0, and you're going to dial it in 15 thousandths. You're going to dial it in when that ball is off the piece, right? If you don't have a DRO and you use a dial indicator, you're going to dial it in half of that, which is 7.5 thousandths. All right? I'm gonna demonstrate this here. Let me see if I can make this a little clearer. All right, now you see this? I'm putting it right up against the turned surface. Like I said, touch the ball bearing. When it revolves, zero up your DRO. Don't move it. Now once your DRO or your indicator, zero on both of them, you come off the piece and you dial in this amount. 15 on a DRO, 7.5 on a dial indicator. Feed rate, 2 thousandths per revolution from right to left. Stop the carriage, reverse the direction from left to right, and you're off the piece. All right? That's considered 2 passes. Let me, this is a little tricky for me, all right? Are you getting my drift? Now let me go back here. All right. Now, here's what he did. Like I said, 625 diameter. It shrunk 4/10 of a thousand. He dialed the ball in. What speeds did he use? Well, now I'll make this bigger again. Jesus Christ. I want to make sure you guys can see this. The turning RPMs were 510. 510 RPMs turning. Same 510 RPMs burnishing. It didn't work out like that with the other materials, but with this, that's the way it worked out. He used light oil. I'm talking about machine oil like you might put in a car, any kind of oil. All he did was put a couple of drops on a burnishing ball and a couple of drops on the titanium. That's what he did. All right, let me just go back. Look at the nice finish she got. Isn't that sweet? All right. Matter of fact, all right. So if you guys are screwing around with titanium, this will give you an idea that this tool doesn't give a shit what the material is. It'll burnish it if you got a nice fine feed rate. I don't care if you turn with carbide or high-speed steel. A 2,000s per revolution feed rate is going to give you a fine finish, right? All right. Now, the high-end guys that do titanium might get excited about this, because this will push the finish beyond where they're normally getting it. You know what I mean? And the demands that people want for that are pretty high. All right? So anyways, how about commenting on this? All right? You wouldn't hurt my feelings. All right? Like they say in Tinseltown, I'm out of here. That's a wrap.